So, Tokyo Ghoul, a series that is both loved and hated in different aspects. Today, however, I'm going to focus on what I consider the best part of Tokyo Ghoul, that being its entire 14-volume manga run, while touching on the anime and its decision as we go. So welcome to another analysis video where before we looked at the world of the Mafia, and today we look at the world of the ghouls. First things first, we need to set some things clear. First off, this video will be discussing Tokyo Ghoul, not Tokyo Ghoul Re. That is an entire video I can do on my own, maybe at some point in the future. Second, this is mainly about its manga and the story told within that. I will talk about its anime, but very loosely and mainly when it comes to the changes that it had decided to do. And lastly, spoilers. I'll try my best to not spoil anything when it comes to the full story, but if you haven't read Tokyo Ghoul, I don't know what you're doing with your life, you should already have read it. Alright, where to begin? Well, the beginning is a good start. Tokyo Ghoul is a manga created by Sui Ishida and ran for 143 chapters in Weekly Young Jump magazine from 2011 to 2014. The series quickly gained popularity for its unique world, interesting cast, and gripping suspense-filled story, spawning a sequel manga, a prequel manga, many light novels, live-action films, and of course, an anime. It's safe to say that the anime did initially help Tokyo Ghoul become widespread by getting people into the story in just 12 episodes, but we'll come back to that. The story centers around Ken Kaneki, or just Kaneki for short, a young college student who mainly likes to be around his best friend Hide and read books. He's a quiet type and one day meets a woman named Rize who shares the same interests as him in books and goes on a date with him. And things get crazy. Oh my god, I didn't mean that crazy, alright? Yeah, Rize is what is known as a ghoul in this world. Ghouls are monsters that feed on humans for satisfaction and hunger. Kaneki, realizing the only bed he's gonna get in is his deathbed, makes a run for it and is luckily saved when Rize is crushed by some beams in a construction site. Kaneki wakes up to find out his left eye is red and his taste for food is completely different than before, slowly realizing that he has now become a ghoul. This is like the first chapter, by the way. Talk about getting your reader engaged, but that's what Tokyo Ghoul excels at. Capturing your attention quickly with the world and main character, as well as almost getting the main character killed and then getting his power set at the end of the first chapter. That's crazy, and the story hooks you with a fast-paced introduction to establish the setting and then calms you down to allow you to take in everything pretty much like Kaneki. As his worldview changes throughout the story, so does the reader's. Whereas in other stories, the MC is mainly a lens for the reader to view the world around them, Tokyo Ghoul makes sure that as Kaneki receives information that can and should make him think a certain way, so do you, because you are just as in the dark as Kaneki. This isn't to say other stories don't do this, but its execution of this here is what makes it special. So what of the characters? It seems the world is interesting and has plenty to learn, but are guides through the story just as interesting as the world they live in? I mean, the answer is obviously yes, otherwise I wouldn't be making this fucking video. The cast is superb and does wonders for us to see how people interact in this universe. This story is shown in two ways, the humans and the ghouls. The ghouls are followed by Kaneki as he ventures through the world of ghouls and learns about their struggles, beliefs, and way of life. The humans are followed by the CCG, the Commission of Counter Ghoul, but more specifically, Amon, a ghoul investigator trying his best to refine his skills to become a special investigator under the guidance of a senior investigator named Mado. The best parts of the story are seeing both sides interact with each other, having their ideals clash and morals conflict. Each side has both good and bad people, making this world not so black and white. The decisions our characters make and the actions after really do reflect their person, instead of just brushing it off into the next arc. Each character feels a part of the world, each aspect of the world feels natural to us, and while a lot of this may seem standard for any manga, Tokyo Ghoul's use of the unknown allows for reveals to hit harder and plot points to stick in your mind longer. With all that said though, let's move on to the halfway point of the story. A critical moment for our MC Kaneki, and a crucial moment regarding the story moving forward, as well as the anime. Since Volume 1, you've understood exactly the type of person Kaneki is. A shy, soft-spoken guy who wants to try to understand the new world he has become a part of, even if the world isn't exactly very kind to him. He wants to get to know the people of Anteku, the cafe he works at, where he's able to harness the ghoul tendencies inside of him and live among the ghouls as it is run by them. He tries to step into their shoes, learn their struggles, and at many points protects them and even cares for them. All of this leads to what I consider the most important part of the story in both Tokyo Ghoul and in Tokyo Ghoul Re. The famous transformation Kaneki goes through, which many has dubbed as white hair Kaneki. In chapters 63 and 64, we see Kaneki absolutely lose it. After being captured by the group known as Ogiri Tree and tortured by their leader Yamori, Kaneki starts having visions of Rise, the ghoul who caused his life to change forever, and the one who convinces him to finally accept the ghoul side of him. His hair turns white and he devours Rise, and he exclaims that he is now a ghoul. What follows is one of the anime's most popular scenes and an amazing exploration at this new Kaneki we have now as he fights Yamori, and if Philippe defeats him, only to devour him as well. This is where the story fundamentally changes forever, as the Kaneki we knew for those first 62 chapters is gone and has become someone different while still retaining what makes him Kaneki somewhat. As he continues in the manga, the line between human and ghoul is blurred even further to the point where he becomes mindless and goes insane at later parts of the story. And this is where the anime fumbles hard. The anime's first 12 episodes are fine, I guess. They don't capture the intensity that the manga does with its artwork, but do well enough with getting the broad strokes correct. The highlight being the last episode with the fight between Kaneki and Yamori. The issue is, well, this.
You think this is funny?
In a cosmic sort of way, yes.
Well, Mr. Funny Man, is this how you get your sick kicks?
What? It's just an ordinary crabby... Oh my goodness! Squidward!
Route A is the next 12 episodes of the anime and are adapting the last 79 chapters of the manga while mixing in an anime original story written by Yoshida. This causes massive issues in pacing, writing, continuity, and of course, story, as it does show events that do happen in the manga, but the meaning behind them is flipped in order to tell this what-if story that isn't really engaging at all. It takes what I believe are some of the most fascinating parts of the Tokyo Ghoul manga and basically makes a best moments collage while telling us a fanfic. It's not good, at least not for someone like me. I know Route A has a fan and I'm happy for that person, but I cannot recommend the anime at all due to this. The problem is also that because the story has now dramatically changed, when we get to the sequel manga, it's even worse since that anime version basically follows the manga. So if you didn't read it, well, tough luck. Not to mention the amount of stuff cut out of the anime in both the OG and Re, mainly pertaining to the beautiful symbolism spread throughout the manga by Yoshida that is non-existent in the anime. I won't rattle on anymore about the anime, but if you truly want to experience Tokyo Ghoul, I only recommend you read the manga. The anime, even at its best, does not compare to what we get from the manga, art-wise, story-wise, pacing-wise, and pretty much everything regarding its general presentation. Tokyo Ghoul is a story about humanity. It's a story about trust. It's a story about friendship. This narrative gripped me from the start and made me truly feel something special. The world is incredibly unique, with a sense that it has a bunch of history behind it. The same goes for its characters, which are all wonderfully executed and easily interesting to explore, with a protagonist who not only changes as the story goes on, but evolves eventually to a character you fully understand, even if at first you may question the choices that he makes. I love Tokyo Ghoul, and it's one of my favorite mangas ever. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like, as it helps the channel and it helps the video find new other people. If you want me to cover Re at some point, leave a comment below. You can follow me on Twitter, join the streams on Twitch, or enter the Discord to talk to me directly. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time, homies. Have a good one.